Alrighty guys, welcome back to another video. I'm very excited for this one. It is currently about 6 in the morning. Woke up at about 5:30. I had to get water and take a shower here down at the marina. I am heading down to, I'm currently in Copper Harbor, and I'm heading down to Houghton, Michigan, which is the nearest town. It's where I have to go every week to go get food. It's about an hour south, about 50 miles south, and I'm in this video going to be heading out to Royale National Park. This trip is so last minute and very hectic because I booked it literally a couple days ago. I wasn't even planning on going out there, but it was killing me. I'm like, I'm right here. I'm so close to it. It's a place I've wanted to go for a while, but my work schedule's been super crazy and busy. We're shorthanded at the park, so I didn't really want to take any time off. So it's my 2 days off, and I'm going to be going only for one night. I have one whole afternoon, and then I'm leaving tomorrow morning there. And I'm going to be taking the Ranger 3 ferry down in Houghton, and not the Queen, unfortunately. The Queen and right in Copper Harbor. They only run 2 days a week now, and they're totally booked up. But it is a much smaller boat, so it's not the end of the deal. The Ranger is a much bigger boat, so it's not the end of the world. The only problem is it's a 6-hour ferry ride, so it's twice as long as the Queen would be. So it's gonna be a long ferry ride. This is such a hectic last-minute trip. I'm gonna be explaining a whole bunch more in this video, but yeah, I really need to get in the road. I have an hour drive, and I still have to get packed. I'm just so bad about last-minute packing, so it's gonna be a fun one, guys. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Let's get in the road. Yeah, let's do it. Catch you guys on the road. Alrighty, guys, just made it down in here into Houghton, and I just checked in. Got my boarding pass. Luckily, I was on the list. I guess that's nothing else to do. Get the bags checked in and start boarding the boat. The check-in offices and stuff right there, and then right over there is the Ranger 3, the boat I'm going to be I'm going to be taking out there. It was built back in the 1950s, so it's a pretty old boat. Things I was worried about, it's quite a bit bigger than the Queen. The Queen's only 100 foot. The Ranger is 165 foot, but it can handle a lot more on the big lake. The big lake is super windy today, so that was the thing I was kind of worried about. A lot of rocking and probably some pretty seasick people out in the Ranger today. We'll see what happens, though. It should be fun, and yeah, let's get packing. Let's get out there.
To have you with us today as we journey to Royale National Park.
World's largest lift bridge, apparently. Had no idea. I always wondered how that went up. The city of Houghton, the city of Hancock over there. The world's largest lift bridge. It's pretty dang cool. Not to fall down. It's a crazy wind, crazy waves out there today. Look at the size of those. Got a rainway out there. This is pretty dang epic, dude. probably not very safe for me to be out here. Alrighty guys, I made it to Rock Harbor here on the far northeast side of Isle Royale, and you really feel like you're off the grid in a remote place here. And it turned into, after 25-mile-per-hour winds, turned into an absolutely beautiful day out here. So unfortunately we did have a delay on the ferry and ended up taking 7 hours. We had to spend an hour at Mott Island, which is like the headquarters and like a research center on one of the islands out there. So unfortunately it's gonna kind of even limit my plans of what I want to do here even more. But I think first things first, I get settled, I got my permit, checked in, and now I'm gonna go head to a campground. There's a campground just outside of Rock Harbor here, which is like, there's two main harbors here where the ferry comes into. There's Rock Harbor and Wendigo, which is like on the far south side of the island. And yeah, I'm gonna be giving you guys kind of some of the history and some facts about the park itself. And I'm gonna go find the closest campground because I only have a few hours and I have to wake up early to catch my ferry tomorrow. So I'm probably not gonna hike too far for a campground tonight, unfortunately. There are 36 main campgrounds scattered about all over the island, and which is really nice is they're all free and they're all just first come first basis. And there's also like little cabin shelter things that are first come first serve too, so they're all free. You just gotta figure out a way to set them up. And yeah, I'm gonna go look for mine. Alrighty guys, so I'm checking all the tent sites and they are all full, unfortunately. So I've been walking through, and the rules are weird, but right here it says overflow camping. Let's go check it out. Let's see what it's like down here. Oh, this is nice. Look at that, we got the bay right down there. Really calm. And right over here, we got a picnic table and nobody's here. This might be the move. Get unpacked, it's almost 5 o'clock already and gotta get camp set up. Let's do it. A bit of a rush, but I just got my tent all set up. This trip was so spontaneous, I didn't have time to buy an actual sleeping pad for camping, so I'm using the old emergency air mattress. Got my 20-degree sleeping bag in there. A tiny little tent you guys saw about 2 videos ago. And here's the spot. Wow, it is nice to get settled, I will not deny that. After a 7-hour boat ride, an hour longer than it had to be, I was talking to the captain. He said it was one of the roughest rides he's had all season, and 8 to 10 foot waves. I thought they were a lot bigger than that. They looked way bigger than that, but they were only 8 to 10 footers, so still pretty dang big waves though. But that was a really long ride. I enjoyed it for the first half. I was absolutely loving watching the water. It was my first time on Superior, and I love going on boat rides, but about halfway through, a whole bunch of people started getting really, really seasick, and luckily I don't get seasick. The only thing that was making me feel a bit nauseous was all the people gagging and throwing up next to me. There was throw up all over the floor and a lot of seasick people. But the boat ride out here is 75 miles out here, and it is a lot. It just honestly blows my mind, 75 miles away. It just blows my mind that it is a part of Michigan still. Like, it is like a lot closer to, it's a couple miles away from the Canadian border in Minnesota and Wisconsin. The only way to get out here is by ferry or seaplane. So you're pretty dang isolated out here. And so a little about the park itself. It is about 40 miles in length, about 9 miles wide, and is more than 200 square miles and makes up more than 450 different smaller islands and just a big archipelago. It's got a whole bunch of wildlife. No bears, actually, which is kind of nice. Back in the day, like 100 years ago, there's when the winters were a lot harsher, there was a big ice bridge here, and that allowed for lots of moose and timber wolves to come out here. And the populations have fluctuated anywhere from like 2,500 moose down to only a couple hundred. Normally, the last few years has been around 1,000 moose out here, so hopefully maybe I'll see one of those. Probably not with this weather and only having one day here. And now, right now, there's 31 timber wolves out here currently. The moose and timber wolves out here are one of the most closely studied groups of animals in the entire world. They've been studying from a really long time and watching the population fluctuations and stuff. And one of the places I actually really want to check out, I was planning on before the delay, I was going to rent a boat and go take it 5 miles down to the bay and go check out a cabin and the Rock Harbor Lighthouse. And this cabin it's an old fisheries, and it's a cabin with somebody that lives out there and studies all the wildlife and moose out here, and he has the world's largest moose shed collection, which I thought would have been super cool to check out. I was really excited to go check that out, but unfortunately I didn't even get camp set up until after 5, and it's only a couple hours left until it gets dark, so I'm just not gonna have enough time. It's just gonna give me a reason to come back though. But Royale, it became a national park in 1931, I believe, and it is the least visited national park in the lower 48, which is kind of insane. It's the only national park to fully close during the winter months. It's only open for like 4 or 5 months out of the year because of the extreme weather conditions out here. It is like the most isolated national park, because you have to take a boat ride all the way out here and you have to cross one of the most dangerous and the largest lake in the world, and Superior is notorious for its crazy fall weather, so that's why it was very rough today. It has generally about 20 to 25,000 visitors, which Yellowstone and the Smokies, they get that amount in about a week, which is kind of insane to think about. So really not that many people at all out here. But it also, despite being like one of the least visited and most remote national parks in the country, is the most returning visitors out of all the national parks, so the people that come out here really, really like it, and they come back a lot of the time, which I think is pretty dang cool, and I can kind of already see why. But I think I'm gonna go ahead into town, kind of give you guys a little bit of tour of the little village. Yeah, that's a little bit out the island. Gonna go for a hike, and yeah, let's go have some fun. Here's a little map I picked up. This is where we came in at, through here. That's the Rock Harbor Lighthouse. You can see all the campgrounds. You can see there's a fire tower actually up here. I really want to check it out, and I heard this area right here is a lot of moose sightings. But that's too far. That's like 7 miles just to get to here, so I'm not doing that in 2 or 3 hours and not waking up early tomorrow to hike all the way back. But the harbor is right here. It's really not a big harbor at all, right there, and I'm camped out right about here. You see the island right there, and that's just the one little chunk of it way up here. That's where I'm at, about as far north as you could possibly be in Michigan. Here's actually another map too I snagged at the visitor center. You can see down here, it's the Wendigo Visitor Center. I actually took the last Ranger ferry ride out here for the season, so there's not too many people. It's really winding down. There's not too many people out this time of year. For camping, it is free if you have your National Park Pass, which I do for my out west trip. I still do for my out west trip, which is really nice, which is 80 bucks. And so the camping is free for me. Otherwise, for the permit, it's $7 per night that you spend out here if you're like a small group, and then there's some different rules for larger groups of people that are coming out here. But you can see all the campgrounds, and there is in total more than 150 miles worth of hiking trails to explore, so you could spend a very long time out here exploring. I'm going for a little bit of a hike. Swamp right there, the lake way down there. There really is not a whole lot in town. There's 2 restaurants, the Rock Harbor Lodge, place where the seaplanes land, and a couple little gift shops, a little camp store by the ferry, and that is about it. Other than that, it's pretty much all just like employee housing and stuff. Yeah, so I'm on the Scoville Trail. I don't think I'm gonna hike all the way out to the point. It's a 4-mile round trip hike, which is quite a long ways, and it's getting late, and I think I'm gonna go out to eat tonight, so I'm gonna save like an hour of daylight left for that. Wow, did it sure turn into a beautiful day. Look how clear the water is out here. It's amazing. Look at all those islands. I couldn't really hardly believe when they said 450 islands, but you can kind of see with just how many little rocky outcrops there are out there. Look at those. You get these like tall cliffs of trees on top of them. It's a beautiful fox.
Hey guys, you get your video? I think I'm supposed to shoot him away.
Oh boy.
Okay, get down. Down.
Yeah.
Get out of there, buddy. Time for bed. Time to zip this guy shut. All tucked in for the night. Pretty dang cool to see that black fox. Apparently it's just a red fox, but it's a melanistic fox. I was definitely hoping to see moose. No such luck, but it was really cool to see a fox. Really beautiful evening. And yeah, I think I'm just gonna hang out and do a little bit of reading. Catch you guys in a bit. Yeah, I'm absolutely exhausted. The ferry leaves again at 9 tomorrow mornings, and I gotta be there to check in at 8 in the morning, so no bears to worry about, just wolves and a moose possibly trampling me in the middle of the night, but I mean, that's not too bad, right? And I'll catch you guys in the morning. Do you guys hear that? That is loud. I can hear it. I heard it grunt 2 or 3 times. And I can see the outline of something right out there. Dude, that is a freaking moose right outside my tent. This is insane. Oh, good morning, guys. What an unbelievable night last night. Pretty eventful. Listen to the loons. The loons are going crazy for the last hour or so, and then about 3:30, that's when I started hearing that like something moving around a little ways from the tent, and then I could hear it like eating and chewing and like ripping and shredding the leaves off of the little branches. And then I heard it grunt 2 or 3 times, and that's when I kind of realized that was 100% a moose. Legit right outside my tent. I did feel a little bit vulnerable, and I did get a little bit nervous because moose are like legit, like over 1,000 pounds. They are massive animals, and I have no defense in this tent. If it wanted to trample me in the middle of the night, it very easily could. So it's a little bit nerve-wracking, but it was mostly just really awesome. But kind of mad I have to wake up early and go back to humanity because I really don't want to, but I'm gonna get up. It's fall weather now. It is really cold, and I don't want to get out of my sleeping bag. I was so nice and cozy, but I'm crawling out. I can do it. Oh boy. all packed up and ready to get on out of here. And yeah, I gotta head to the ferry, got my stuff together, and wow, I have so much gear, you'd think I was out here for a month, but I gotta seriously buy some more lightweight gear, but I'm gonna roll on out of here. There's the harbor down there.
Oh no. That's the same name as me. Yeah.
Oh wow, guys, and thus concludes my Isle Royale adventure. Absolutely amazing. Really only scratched the surface of things I could do there. Just made it back on the ferry, and I gotta shop, edit a video up, and get back up to Copper Harbor to wake up early to work again tomorrow, unfortunately. But wow, I think I'm gonna have to go back and spend a week or two there. It felt like more like Alaska. It felt more like Alaska than it did Michigan. Yeah, it was just a really, really awesome experience. I mean, it's $160 for the boat for the ferry ride out there, which really isn't too bad. Really wish I had more time. It was really just kind of killing me not being able to go out hiking and like really do any of the major hikes or go out to any of the other campgrounds because I had to leave early the next morning. Like, it was driving me crazy. This morning when I was hearing those loons and owls and heard the moose, like, I'm like, I want to stay here for like at least a week or two. Yeah, I think that's gonna about do it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little switch up of things, and yeah, I would really appreciate if you subscribe to help the channel keep growing. But yeah, tons more adventures to come up here in Copper Harbor. Fall is coming. It's going to get really beautiful out. And yeah, I will catch you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next adventure.